welcome. You're watching my 11. Oh, sorry. I was channeling some other guy. Hi, you're watching my 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Pommie Mbangwa and Michael Vaughan. Pommie, quick answer. Who was I channeling?
Booyakasha. I'm taking it a long way back, actually. Then I'm taking it a long way back.
You've taken it back to Ali G. You've taken it back to
taking
it back to his first guy, who actually, coincidentally, Ali G was Michael Vaughan's neighbor when they were growing up. Michael, is it fair to say that your birthday yesterday was a great success?
Yes, I know. I actually ate my cake. Rather than it being flattered in my face.
Not even a birthday then.
No, I actually ate a nice cake, a rainbow cake, very nice.
It's not even a real birthday. If the cake's not on your face, not even a bit of it on your face.
Nothing.
You got to do it again.
It's
got to be all over again now. Do over, please. Well, if there is a team that has decided that they wanted a do-over after their first half, it was Punjab. And boy, they had to do over 5 in a row. 5 in a row is what they want. They want to make it 6 in a row. Of course, why wouldn't they? But there's Rajasthan standing in their way saying, hang on, we just beat a big team and we're here to take Punjab on as well. What is the news on the toss is that who's won it? Who won the toss? Rajasthan won the toss and they're bowling. Yeah, Rajasthan. So Steve Smith won the toss and they're bowling, of course. This is very interestingly a knockout game for Rajasthan and Kolkata and Hyderabad. Those two are not even playing today. It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's beautiful, don't you think? It's season after season, and I sound like a stuck record because I think that's how I begin every time I turn up here. If I don't begin that way, somewhere along the line when one of us gets carried away with, "Ooh, these guys are on a run, and those guys will definitely X and Y." Whoa. We don't know. We never know because it just throws things up. Just like you're saying with the turnaround for Kings 11 Punjab, it's been so dramatic in that you would think because you've wasted your opportunities towards the start of the tournament, you're not going to get them again. Others will take their opportunity and you'll be ruining those missed ones as the tournament goes on. But no, they've gone 5 on the bounce and they're looking good. If you're Rajasthan, well, many people will say, well, they can't or it's too much for them. Surely they're coming up against, and you'd never know. They could win today. And if they win, then Kolkata and Hyderabad, who are supporting them, will be right. We'll live to fight another day. And that's exactly what they want. I don't know. Apart from Kings 11 Punjab supporters, it's probably what most people want today, actually.
Yeah, Michael, there's, no pressure on Steve Smith and his boys, but it's not just their fans, but Kolkata fans and Hyderabad fans. Everybody who's not a Punjab fan is cheering for Rajasthan today.
Yeah, and they're going about it the right way because the bowling first and chasing has become a nice way to win these T20 games over the last 19 games. I think it's 14 that have been won by the chasing team. So they're going about it the right way. They've been inconsistent, from pretty much game one. You look at a couple of the wins early, Tawatia. It was
this game. It was this game the first time around.
And they shouldn't have really won that game. They did. So a couple of the early wins were really games that they shouldn't have won. They've just not been consistent enough. Can they find consistency at the best time, which is now in the tournament? Win a couple of games, get through the qualifications, and then anything's possible. But it's just been a little bit. You look at the batting order. It's gone from Butler being at the top to now Ben Stokes having to go at the top. Lots of swapping and changing, trying to find the right formula. For Kings, it's obviously been the universe boss arriving, winning every game with Chris Gayle in the side. T20 cricket, as Pommie mentioned, I don't think you can predict anything. And I can't predict anything that will happen today other than it will be 11 versus 11. No idea what.
Yeah, cricket doesn't go down to 10 men, so that's not going to happen.
Nobody's getting a red card, right?
Nobody.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you look at Rajasthan, I mean, we're talking about Punjab starting poorly. Rajasthan on the other side, with those first two games in Sharjah, where they just blew the opposition with 200 scores. And, Pommie, everyone was like, oh, look at this team. They're contenders this year. And then just, boom, fell off the cliff the next 4-5 games.
I wonder, I've wondered this, and maybe I can toss it over to Michael. I wonder if it affected them, the fact that they played at a ground that was so small, and essentially to win, you had to hit the most sixes. I genuinely felt that about Sharjah at the start of the tournament. If you went there and you didn't intend to hit sixes and look to try and figure out how you could hit the most, you'd probably come second best each time. Now, they went from playing there and then went to the bigger grounds, and we saw people like Steve Smith, who are usually so calculated in the way they play that they would play just normal cricket shots and hit areas that others don't hit, trying to swipe and hit the ball out of Dubai. And I think he went on a run of 3 scores of naught or something like that. And Mick, if I could ask you, I suppose, does it affect batsmen, the fact that you have to readjust from small ground to big ground?
Yeah, I think all the best players in the world in T20 cricket, that they can change the way that they play wherever they're going to be batting, whether it's Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. They're very clever and quick to understand the pitch and understand the dimensions early enough to change the way that they need to play on that given day. And maybe Rajasthan, I mean, you're absolutely right about Steve Smith. He played nicely at the start by just playing Steve Smith's way, and then all of a sudden he came out. He looked to me like he was trying to hit a boundary every single ball. Yeah. And he's the kind of player, really, in T20 cricket that you would say to him, look, you just bat 20 overs. If you get in early, just bat the overs. He'll get you 60. I don't think he's a 100 player in T20 cricket. I don't think he's that kind of player that will strike you 100 off 60 or 55. He's a consistent 60 to 80 player. And if he gets to you that score, the firecrackers around would have a day out, 1 or 2 of them, and you end up with the big scores. So I don't think the captain has really found his rhythm and his style in this year's IPL. When they win, they generally win because of an individual. I don't see Rajasthan so far playing collectively as a team where everything's come together. It's been a Ben Stokes 100, an incredible spell by Jofra Archer. I don't see them so far just gathering as a unit, and playing really collectively together. For whatever reason, they've looked like a team of individuals this year. I'm sure they're not, and I'm sure they're quite together in that dressing room, but they haven't quite synced together as some of the teams have done. So now's the time to do it. If you're going to put a performance together, do it today. Win the next game, get through to the qualifications, and if you've won your last 2 games going into the qualifications, you're obviously into some kind of form which gives you a chance of winning the tournament.
Yeah, and they're coming into this game on the back of form. The Ben Stokes 100, Sanju Samson doing well in that game as well. It was a big score to chase, and well, they did it quite professionally, quite proficiently. Today, let's have a look at the teams and see if there's any changes. So we have Rajasthan. They made just the one change. They want to go for the raw pace of Varun Aaron, and he comes in place of Ankit Rajput. Like the change, Pommie?
Yeah, I don't mind the change, although the first thing that I think about as we're at this stage of the tournament, and it's because I watched as, I think it was RCB's fast bowlers who kept bowling faster and faster and disappearing. And I can't remember if that was against Chennai. It might have been against Chennai. I can't remember who it was against. Yeah. But as we come to this stage of the tournament, you have to use the pitches. You have to use the slowness of the pitches. So when you add extra pace, you've got to be confident that whoever it is you're adding can shift their pace as is necessary on the surface, because he'll run up and bowl his fastest ball and it could disappear quickly, even on a decent length and all the rest. But to use the pitch might be to take pace off. So, yeah, I don't mind the change. It's fair enough. Try and get through some people. If he bowls a good Yorker, he bowls it really fast. He certainly bowls it faster than Rajput. But it's the mix and matching that you have to do, isn't it?
And hopefully he'll have a little more luck than he had in the previous game that he bowled, where a couple of edges, something not carrying just to the fielder. With Varun Aaron, quick bowler, done well domestically as well. So makes his way into the Rajasthan team. On the other side, with the Punjab team, Hey, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, mate. Yeah, don't fix it. You don't want to be going around. This is a team. I also have a feeling, by the way, Michael, that I think they exhausted their change quota in the first 5 or 6 games. Right? First half of the league phase, they're like, that's it. Sorry, no more change. Ooh, our cards are finished. But this 11 has worked out well for them.
Yeah, well, that top 5 looks formidable. You know, when you've got the likes of Chris Gale coming in at number 3, playing the way that he's done. Maxwell's not really fired as yet, but you know, you always know with Glenn Maxwell that he can have a day out. Pooran, I just think, is a wonderful talent, and Rahul at the top of the order, as classy a batsman as you can watch. The way that he just glides the ball to the boundary and kind of flicks it into the space, a wonderful player. So they are playing in the last 5 games as well as any, because they've won 5. But I just like the way that they've played together. You know, they've kind of developed this real culture of a team playing together nicely. You know, Rajasthan will know that they're going to have to bring their A game to get today to beat them. But chasing has been a nice way to go about it, particularly in Abu Dhabi in the last couple of games. They won the last game chasing against Mumbai here. So they're doing everything that they want to do. But T20 cricket is purely about, can you just perform for about 35 overs, 35 of the 40 overs. If you play well enough, you generally win the game. Yeah,
the team effort is coming through not just in the batting for Punjab, but also in the bowling. Their 2 leg spinners are bowling well together in tandem, Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi. So really, it's all seems to be coming together nicely for Punjab. But how's it coming together for you? You're sitting at home, you make your My 11 Circle team. You, of course, have to go to the website and download the app and then choose the game. There's only the one game today, which is Punjab playing Rajasthan. Choose your 11 players as a mix from the 2 teams. And, well, there's a few that you have to put in there. Pommie, I guess you definitely want to put Chris Gale in there, because ever since he's come into the team, and so there's 2 effects. One is just, you know, there's a placebo effect as well. There's a, oh my God, he's going to come. But secondly, he's had the positive influence, right? So he may not have had, you know, the big flashy 100 so far. And you may not remember him hitting 26s in one game, but he has made a contribution in every game. And it's about, and if T20 cricket is about micro events, like we always talk about, I think that Delhi chase, that 1 over from Tushar Deshpande sends him for, I think, 27, 28 runs or some such. And a 160 chase suddenly is just like, 1 sec, it's over. In the 5th over, you're like, all right, now we're just going to walk in the park and get it done easily. So that's the kind of effect he has, right? He has the effect of, he can turn that big truck of a T20 game on a pin.
Yeah, and look, it's one thing to think of a Chris Gale of long ago. My concern when he came into the side, it was, you know, where does he bat? Can he adjust to batting number 3? And if he comes in and he has to bat number 3 and there's 60 on the board, it's not the same as what he does normally, which is walk out there, it's opening, the guys are in, and he can just, and he'll go for 4, because he just has to get half a bat on it and play with some sort of intent, and he'll get boundaries and get himself out of trouble in terms of balls faced and no runs taken, no running singles and all of that. But he's done it beautifully. He really has done it well, has read every situation and has done what was required. In the last game that he played, actually, that 51 of 29 or whatever it was, with Mandeep Singh having started off struggling, he was struggling. Yeah. It looked, with the wicket having fallen, that, oh, what's going to happen here? Can Chris Gale take pressure off Mandeep Singh? And he did exactly that. Yes, Mandeep ended up with 55, played beautifully and all the rest. But without the way Chris Gale played, they would have been in more trouble. And in effect, he just ended the game and let this guy who was having a wonderful day, as it turned out, special as it turned out in the end, because of all that surrounds it. Yeah, I got to give him credit. Got to give him a lot of credit for how he's gone.
I want to ask Captain one thing. I want to ask you one thing, Captain, is that Chris Gale, this is happening last few seasons, right? You leave him out of a few games and then he just hits the ground running. We have a stat which says that whenever he plays his first game, he's just brilliant. Is there, I think I remember reading this with Mike Brearley and Ian Botham. I used to wind him up perhaps and get the best out of him, but you just wind somebody up by making them feel initially that they're not that important to the plan, right? And then they just come in, and that's the kind of personality that just comes in and says, I'm just going to destroy everything now. Have you, as a captain, ever seen that with any of your team? You just had to it would pay off really well if you just wound them up a little bit up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's the part, the art of man management is knowing who you can prod and who you can't, who needs an arm around the shoulder. Most recently, I'll be the first to admit that I've written some things about Stuart Broad to wind him up. That's, of a modern player, I just think he's a wonderful bowler, magnificent player for England. But every now and again, I just think a prod and maybe a little bit of sprinkling under cake. You add a few more kind of ingredients just to prod in that little bit more so. I've certainly not taken any credit for the way that he performed, but I have definitely sharpened the pencil that little bit more so to someone like Stuart Broad in the last 10 years of any player, because I know that he's got the game and the ability to react and perform positively. Of course you need to do that to certain individuals and players. Chris Gayle, I don't think we give him enough credit for how good a player he is.
Yeah,
because of his because he's a fun-loving, jovial, social media, takes the mick out of most things. He does some incredibly strange things at times. I don't think we as pundits and people in the game, I don't think we actually talk enough about how great a batsman he is. If you look at his numbers of what he's delivered in Test match cricket, if you go back to his Test days, he's a wonderful Test match batsman. And then you take
100 Test matches. I mean, it's no joke.
You take it to the 50 game, the T20 game. Whether he bats 1, 2, or 3, now he's batting at 3 as a 41-year-old. And as Pommie mentioned, he is reading the situation, as you would expect a player of his experience to do so. But I just don't think we give him enough credit of how great a batsman he is.
I remember. If you go back in time,
I just wanted to. Sorry, you mentioned his tests, so I just wanted to say that here: 103 Test matches. I've got the Cricbuzz app open. 7,200 runs. The highest, of course, as we know, is 333. 43, 42, 43 average. There's how many hundreds? 1,500s. I mean, this is Test match. We're not even talking about T20s. This is Test match cricket. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, Pommie, you were saying.
Hasn't he got 2 triples? I'm just guessing. He might have actually.
Yep.
I think he's got 2 triples. And if you go back in time to when Chris starts in IPL, when West Indies having all trouble about people aren't committed enough to Test match cricket and all of this, and some people murmuring about why is everyone fussing about 2020? He was the one out there taking all the hits for many people, where you're saying, no, this is the game of the future. And I'm here to play it. And I'm good at it. And I'll show you I'm good at it. And here we are. What is it now? 13, 14, 15 years later. You know what I mean? Here we are. And this is still going. It's still going well. And he's still here. Yes. He's still here. And he's still here and delivering. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I think he made his debut before Jofra Archer was born. I think that's how long he's been playing, right? And in fact, young Jofra Archer is in fact topping our boost stamina meter. And why would he not? Because he's young. He bowls fast. He's really young and he bowls really fast. Funny thing is, he doesn't run in that hard, but he just bowls really fast. And that's why he is up there today. He's got 17 wickets. He's consistently delivering half his quota as dot balls. His average speed is in excess of 140. I remember that. I don't know if you remember that, Michael, where the archer plucked the arrow out of the sky, the little catch in the boundary. So he's all over the opposition like a rash.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching him. He found form in the white ball games against Australia. He just and he's continued to have David Warner on toast. But it's his pace, it's that bounce. He's just getting a little bit of movement. I like to see him enjoying his cricket, and I just think in T20 cricket, in 50-over cricket, I just see a joy. You know, a guy that's just loving playing the white ball game. We don't generally see that a great deal in Test match cricket. For whatever reason, he's not quite found his mojo in Test cricket yet. He's had the odd really good spell, the spell against Steve Smith in the Ashes. He got a 6-for against the Aussies at Headingley, but you know, consistently he's not delivered in Test cricket. I'm sure that'll come. He's only a young player, but in white ball cricket, I think 9 times out of 10 he's going to deliver. There's very, very rarely that you watch Jofra Archer in white ball cricket and think he's had an off day. He's generally always on the money.
Yeah, and it's the fun that he's having, Pommie. And before you add to that, the Royals, I saw a video up with the Royals. He's such a character. Ben Stokes asked him that, who is your fast bowling idol? He says, no one. He says, who is your inspiration? He says, my Xbox. It's just bizarre answers. I loved it.
He is different, isn't he? And I think that's the beauty of it. You know, the beauty of everything is, for me anyway, is that you can get a collection of people and not expect them to behave the same way, but play the same game and be effective enough, right? And he's not effective enough. He's crazily effective, particularly when he is happy. And I take this on cue from Michael, in that it's also crazy that we sit and we say, oh, in Test match cricket, he hasn't quite done it yet. But it's not he hasn't quite done it yet. It's he hasn't done what the expectation is, because everyone understands and knows just how good he is and can be. And it's shown week in, day out here at IPL when he runs in with this white ball. I tell you what, watching him here at Dubai each time has been fantastic. It, like, you sit up in that commentary box and you watch him. He runs, and I know some think he's just ambling. He is running. It just looks like he's not. And he runs in faster and faster and bowls quicker and quicker. You look at where the keepers are standing, and it's just been such a joy to watch. And I hope, and to shift from the subject, I hope that we can get to a place where in Test matches as well, he's as happy as he is bowling, for Rajasthan, or bowling for England in a blue shirt rather than a white one. If we do, then we'll joyce up.
He's bowling in a blue and pink shirt today, and talking about pushing wicket keepers back. Sometimes when his ball is at 150 plus, you're thinking, is the wicket keeper back in the hotel? He's really far back, isn't he? And the wicket keeper, Sanju Samson, is the one that we are saying is our My 11 Circle trump card, because this is what he did against Punjab the first time around. Remember, they were playing in Sharjah. This was the same Tewatia game. It's called now, goes down in history as the Tewatia game, with 7 sixes and 4 boundaries, a 200 strike rate. And of course, he's come off the back of that great partnership with Ben Stokes, and a half century for himself. So we'd say that he's there. All right. It's now time for today's birthday boy. Yesterday's birthday boy, Michael Vaughan. Today's birthday boy, because this is that time of the year when we just pass the baton from one person to the other. Professor Joy Bhattacharya, his birthday. So happy birthday to Joy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Joy.
Happy birthday.
He's obviously sitting and drinking a cocktail of books and twisted questions. But he sent one of those to us, shaken and stirred. Let's have a look at what it is. Which international cricketer got his nickname because a fan approached him early on in his career and asked him for an autograph, addressing him by a totally different name? I know this. I know this as well. I know this.
Was that in England?
He's Australian.
Is that what you're thinking? Is he Australian?
He's Australian. That's what I think.
Oh, I think he's English.
He's Australian. I know this.
I think he's West Indian. Sorry. I think he's West Indian. Sorry, West Indian.
He's told me the story. I think he told me the story himself. I think it is. Yes. Okay. I'm so excited. This is like Joy's birthday gift to me on his birthday. Finally, after what is it, like 40 days? I finally know. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm just giving away my stupidity by being so excited about knowing the answer. Keep quiet, GK. Keep quiet. It's time for our My 11 Circle Badge of Honor prediction. Just like we started the show saying, you can never guess what happens in T20 cricket. But I tell you what, between the three of us, we can guess. And we can get it right. And we will. It's Punjab batting first. What's the score going to be in 20 overs? Put your guesses in, gentlemen. Put your guesses in.
I will say
186.
172.
172. What have you got, Pommie?
186.
186, 172. Enough space to park my car in between. So I shall go 178. That's it. 172, 178, 186. Done. So, no, that's not right in the middle then. 179 would be in the middle. Yeah, so 179. Right in the middle. We got it covered.
See, you're not even guessing. You're just going into the middle. Never mind. Fine. Move on.
It's all strategy. It's just all strategy. I just want one of us to get it. One of us should get it, right? It's a team effort. That's what will happen. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with the Cricbuzz Combox. We'll have a little update at the halfway mark of Punjab's batting effort. Big thanks to Pommie and Michael. Thank you. We will, of course, be back after the Punjab batting effort with My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Thank you for watching.